Now that we've covered errors and warnings, we can go ahead and look at notices. Notices are just that, notices. They're just telling us things that we need to know. They say issues that they want us to fix. Permanent redirects. The truth is we've rebuilt the site so many times, which is a good thing. There are a lot of redirects in place. And as long as the redirects, remember we looked at redirect chains, as long as your redirects are one to another, I'm not terribly concerned about that. So more than 3 clicks to be reached. We do have a deep page hierarchy, but let's look and see which ones. So this, for example, so these are so we have to double check these redirects to make sure, because this page, for example, it should be HTTPS. So why it is not, let's take a look and see. Okay, so what's happening is, remember we went back. So these are links that we're getting from these old blog posts. And that's, that has to be fixed. So I believe once we fix that, let's take a look to see if there are any ones that have tremendous crawl depth. These are most likely blog posts. Yeah, here's a blog, page 39. So this obviously, so here, page 39 on the blog requires 39 clicks to get to. That's fine. And we're going to, because it is page 39. And again, that is not something that we need to deal with in the navigation. So we're going to go ahead and just click these, because I don't want these affecting our audit and I don't want to have to deal with them again. So we're not excluding the check, but we are hiding the results. And let's just see here. I resorted the crawl depth, and these that have 14, these are just deep buried in archives that I'm not terribly worried about. Again, I will look at these just to get an idea. I'll pull an Excel spreadsheet to see, just to make sure, but all these category pages really don't matter to me. So here. So, all right, let's keep going. Notices. 87 pages have 1 incoming internal link. And these are category pages. So again, category pages, just to show you, these are WordPress categories. So I don't really worry about category pages. It's kind of a trend. You can see that. Now I can look and see what other pages. The uploads, again, the uploads I'm not worried about, because what WordPress does is WordPress assigns, and it depends how these were done, how you embed these images. But what WordPress does is WordPress will make separate actual items in the database for images and for PDFs and things like that. So that is why we see this here. And I will look here, sleep apnea as a category. And, we only need one incoming link for the accessibility statement, because we have on one page. Privacy policy, same thing. And then we'll take a look at this. Let's hide those. And then I will double back and I will check these pages individually. These are not blog posts. This is our services section to see. So we'll come back to that. 19 pages take more than a second to become interactive. These are blog posts. So I will come through and I will make this, I will go through this by hand, and we'll look at these just to make sure that those are all pages that can be ignored. 7 pages blocked from crawling. Yeah, these are searches. So this should not be blocked from crawling. We're going to have to double check that. And these are blog posts that, again, I don't really care about. They're from 10 years ago, but I will take a look at them specifically later on, just to make sure we're not missing out. 6 pages with more than one H1 tag. These we certainly have to look at. These are blog posts from a long, long time ago that I'm not worried about. So I'm actually going to hide this. If these were primary pages, I absolutely would deal with it. But again, these are not pages I'm too worried about, since they're 10 years old. Six orphan pages in Google Analytics. All right, these are things that will, in these this is an old 404 that doesn't exist anymore. Tags. Yeah, so these are things that we don't need anymore, these orphan pages. And you can see it's a page that's not linked to internally. So we can obviously get rid of these. We can talk about deleting them. What I will actually do is save them, and I will go ahead and take a look at these just to make sure these pages don't exist and there's nothing on them. I doubt it, but to be sure, to be thorough, I want to make sure. 3 pages are blocked from crawling. Let's see what pages. These should not be blocked from crawling, so I will take a look at those individually to see. And we're not worried about HSTS. So we are good now with the notices. And so what we're going to do now is, now that we've gone through our errors, our warnings, and our notices, and our overview is at 64%, what we will do is let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to make some changes first, then we're going to rerun the campaign. Let's double check our excluded checks. See, this is cool. It shows us what the checks are, and we've hidden some of them. Blocked external resources are fine, and low word count. We don't have to exclude that check per se. And just in case they're external resources, we don't have to block them. But again, we can hide pages that are there. Like we'll go back later when we do it again, and we'll hide the privacy policy or one of those pages. I forgot what that was. So we're at 64, and what you're going to see is as we get these down, we're going to improve all of these issues. Here's our crawlability. So again, these are just a lot of different ways of looking at the same thing. So we'll go ahead then clean all this out and then come back, and I expect our total score to be a heck of a lot better. Once this is done, then we'll go ahead and we will do our manual audit. Even though we are doing that now at the same time, we put everything together to make sure we're square. And once that's done and we've implemented those changes, we're going to go ahead and start doing our keyword research. So that concludes our site audit. I encourage you to ask questions and make comments. You can do that, of course, in the Facebook group or on our Twitter feed. And I also look forward to getting this score a lot better, which we're going to do. And then once that's done in our next section of the video, we're going to start working on keywords.